Okay, good to see everybody. Appreciate it. Good work day today, guys. A tough day. Good work practice. This is an important week for us to try to improve and get better. Thought the guys were very intentional about trying to do their best and get better today. So we'll be on to tomorrow. We'll be in shells, and then work from there. What questions you have?
John, I think we talked a little bit about it yesterday. I mean, is this going to be in your mind like the last kind of full camp mode week, and then next week goes out of it, or how do you have that kind of plan?
Well, yeah. I mean, you're never really out of it until after the last preseason game.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different schedule next week, but it's still I would still consider it camp. Yeah.
So we saw Corey Bullock get in there right away at center the other night. What have you liked about him? What impressed you?
Yeah, he's I would say dramatic improvement. Just works hard, so hard all the time, and it's showing up in how he's playing center and guard, both guard and center positions, and has just done well. I see him blocking people. That's usually a pretty good. I don't know. Is that what linemen do? Right? They block. And so he's making a lot of blocks.
John, we saw that Longerbeam had to go on IR. Did that just end up being worse than you guys initially thought, or what happened?
It's a long story. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's just a long story, and you can. I really couldn't even explain it to you. Much as I might want to, I couldn't explain it to you. So it is what it is. You haven't heard that from me ever, have you? Until now.
Bill is like
That was a Brian Billick one. I like Brian. Brian, that was for Brian. Brian, it is what it is.
John, is Jair okay? We didn't see him out there.
Yeah, he's okay. Yeah. Jair's okay. Kyle's okay. DeAndre's okay. All those guys. Keaton's okay.
Speaking of DeAndre, now he's had a few weeks in camp. What have you I mean, it's one thing, like you said, when you play against him. Now you have a guy that's here. What have you liked about DeAndre so far in camp?
Well, I mean, it's just the skill set that, gosh, you always saw, you played against. He tore his jersey. Someone tore his jersey trying to defend him yesterday, and he still made the play anyway. I accused him of cutting the stitches ahead of time to try to get calls. But I accused him of that when he was playing for Tennessee and for Houston. So, but no, he's the same, guy, does the same things really, really well. Nate was asking about covering him yesterday on that low red sideline play. And what could I have done? It's really, honestly, Nate, there's nothing you could have done better. That was a great throw and a great catch by probably, arguably, one of the best who's ever done it. I mean, guys like Anquan, guys like Mason, good at those kind of plays right there that we've had here.
John, we saw Malik Cunningham take a snap or two down in the red zone there. Was that just kind of thrown in there, or is that something different with his usage, his plan going forward?
That's great that you noticed that. No, what that was a situational drill that we're throwing an interception because it was a get-down victory for the defense, so that we practice those situations. So if you get an interception up by one score late in the game, you can run the clock out, you run and you get down. Don't turn it over. So none of our quarterbacks like to throw interceptions. I was going to make Devin do it, but then I said, nah, Malik, you go do it. So Malik throws a touchdown pass the very first time, just to make his point. And then he threw the interception.
John, we know you guys have been a little banged up at running back. You added Myles Gaskin. What do you like about him? He's been productive in the past.
Yeah, very effective back in the past and different places, plays special teams, very into it, I just thought he was really on point and excited to be here and had a good day today in special teams. And at the end, as a running back, he got in there and did well. Seemed like he knew what he was doing. I think he'll help us here and see what happens.
John, I think you have talked about, and certainly the players have talked about your decision to have everything graded and the leaderboards and the position leaderboards and position rooms. Just talk about how that kind of idea came to you. I know you previously were grading plays, but what was the idea to kind of make it transparent and have it like this?
Well, probably the best way to describe it is just to take it to another level. I mean, we've always been very intentional about all those types of things that are important. And you grade a lot of different areas. I mean, you grade everything to some degree. You certainly evaluate everything, but we just thought if we've always kind of believed that if it's important and it matters, and especially if it's a type of thing that's kind of the dirty work, sort of the blue collar work that takes kind of an everyday intentionality, then you should not just talk about it, but you should reward it, and emphasize it and grade it and evaluate it and all those kind of things. So guys are thinking about it, and that's really what we tried to do. That's what we're trying to do.
From just the kind of rapid transparency that requires?
I think it's really great. I don't know if there's any surprises that probably kind of hit. It's great that the guys are so into it. I love the fact that it matters to them so much. And I just think that they understand, when you go through the things that we've gone through in terms of different games and things like that, they can see when we do those things well. Sometimes, most of the time, the game's not even close. And when we don't do those things well, we haven't been blown out, but we've given teams a chance to beat us. So that's where we want to be intentional and just be at our best in all the little things that matter as much as we possibly can. I'd like to be the best in the league at turnover margin. I'd like to be the best in the league at fewest penalties. I'd like to be the best in the league at running to the ball or tackling or blocking or whatever it might be, because those are the things that are impactful to the game.
John, we saw Adisa Isaac and Carson Vincent have a lot of good matchups, a lot of very spirited pass rush reps today. What are you seeing out of both of those players, and specifically Vincent? How do you feel like he's done coming into the league?
Yeah, well, I think he's a developmental player who's done well, and he's a step up. It's a step up for sure. It is for everybody, but especially coming from the little bit of the smaller school competition. They played Auburn, they had those moments, but he's going against the best of the best every single day. And you're right, it's been very intense. I mean, the edge guys and all that, and the D line with the offensive line, it's been really intense every day. It was intense out here again today, and I think he gets better every day. And he still has a ways to go. So, but he's got tools and he's got determination. And he's smart, so he's. I would expect him to become a really good player.
That's just how they make the shirts here. Playing football, but yeah, it was just nothing crazy, nothing unusual.
How do you feel that chemistry between you and Lamar, obviously, first time playing together, how do you think now, with almost 3 weeks into camp now, how do you feel that's progressed?
I think it's progressed well. We're building the chemistry on and off the field, in the locker room, talking about things, so I think it's going well.
Is there a defensive back that you found you particularly like going against in the practice?
I like going against all of them, but I would say specifically Nate Wiggins. I think Nate is, he's a young guy who loves competing. He wants to be great. Obviously Jair and I have played against each other before, but I've never played against Nate. Chig, I played against him, I played with him in Tennessee. So I would say, Nate, just because, him and I have never really got reps against each other. And, he's a young corner who wants to be great.
When you see him, do you feel like he has all the tools that you need to be top level at that position?
Oh, yeah, of course. He's a Clemson guy. So, we train him well around there, man. But Nate, he competes every day. He doesn't complain, comes out and work. He has every tool set that you look for in a lockdown corner.
So how do you divvy up enough passes to keep everyone happy with offense?
I think this room is full of unselfish receivers. And I think, last year was a testimony to that. Those guys winning games and, just balling out. I think both of the receivers had good years last year. So coming into it, I feel like it was a good group already from what I heard about them, and then come here, they just want to win, and play unselfish ball.
Hey, DeAndre, Zach Orr was saying that Nate Wiggins, when he would have gone on his recruiting visit at Clemson, your name would have already been on the picture already up on the board. Has Nate Wiggins ever mentioned that to you?
Nah, he hasn't. But my uncle is a strength training coach at Clemson, so I remember him always talking about Nate when he was there. Just about a young kid that's going to be great. And I would go there and hang out with my uncle in the strength training room, and Nate would be in there a lot of times. Just kind of doing his own thing, and he'd be like, this kid right here is going to be great. And obviously, he was talking about Nate, and I feel like he's still continuing to find himself in this league. But yeah, I knew him when he was at Clemson through my uncle.
I know he's been going to coaches and older cornerbacks for feedback. Do you guys talk at all? Is there anything that you can teach him?
Yeah, we talk a lot. Just about certain routes that he feels like he needs work on. When we do one-on-one drills, I'll kind of run some of those against him, just so he can kind of get reps that he needs at certain certain depths or against certain kind of coverages. So yeah, we talk a lot.
DeAndre, John Harbaugh said yesterday that he planned to talk to some of the veterans about whether to play in the preseason and who's going to play. Being that you're on a new team, do you
have any preference about whether you play in the preseason? Would you prefer not, just getting ready for week one?
You know, I have no preference. I haven't played in preseason in a while, but you know, football is football, so I have no preference.
DeAndre, what's kind of been your impression of Rashad Bateman from a receiving standpoint?
You know,
What stood out to you about him?
the way he competes. You know, he's hard on himself, which is good, which is what you look for in a young wide receiver. You know, who's still making a name for himself in this league. You know, but he comes out and work. You know, he competes. He loves going against our best corners, and he looks forward to those matchups. You know, but you know that's what stood out against. You know, I would say the most about him, just how he likes to compete against our best corners.
One more, please.
DeAndre, you've been with Derrick Henry, in Tennessee, now here. Where do you think, when his career is all said and done, people talk about you being the Hall of Fame, when you think Derrick's career is all said and done, where do you think he'll rank among the all-time greats?
You know, I think his record, his track record speaks for itself. You know what he's done in Tennessee and what he's done here, what he's going to continue to do here. So, you know, I think Derrick is obviously on track, but you know, him and I think we're definitely present in what we're doing and not looking forward. You know, and that's trying to win you know, games for the Ravens right now. But you know, I think everyone knows you know, potentially, you know, where he could be, and I feel like he does as well. What was your question?
I was just going to ask, I've seen Lamar find you a couple times on back shoulder throws. What is the kind of the secret to that success when throwing a guy open like yourself, when maybe it might look like when the quarterback effective in cover?
Just trust. You know, just trust it, and obviously me going out and showing him that he can trust me. You know, but that comes obviously with reps and doing it over and over. And so, you know, really just trust, because, you know, sometimes you don't look like you're open, but, you know, it's on the receiver to kind of make you right.